So Alicia's with a voice real person today, and I'm in Bristol on my own, and I'm just having fun. There's so many leaves. Good lord. I've decided to find a way up there. Shouldn't be too difficult. I have been finding out how to use Bristol. They have these things called elevators or lifts. Well, I made it up onto the bridgey thing. Yeah. A place called Cabot Circus, apparently. There is a distinct lack of acrobats and jugglers in Cabot Circus. There are lots of places to eat. I decided I want to try and get over to there so I can read what that sign says and see what was going on with that squiggly wiggly giant worm. My best bet is to scale down. So here's the light up snake thing. I think it's just some fancy lit up seating. Which is disappointing. But look, I found Monkle. So Monkle, it turns out, is a clothing store. Seems to be largely ladies as well. Or those that identify as ladies, I don't know. Let's try and find some sort of vape shop, because my vape is broken. And that's sad. Oh well. I've managed to find myself somewhere where there's a lot of greenery. It's a place called the Castle Park, and I don't know what that means. I have found a squirrel. I will call him Simon. He's running real fast. Doesn't like being on camera, methinks. I have decided to find that pointy building and the adjacent smaller pointy building next to it. Not the crane, the pointy building. So according to all the little signages around the castle park, there used to be a castle here. But it fell into disuse and disrepair, and then eventually, during some bombing raids, it was completely levelled. And then in 1970, it actually swept up all the rubble from the bombs and turned it into a lovely green park area. So there you go. Another squirrel. It's not the same one, I checked. This one is called Sebastian. Bye, little Sebastian. So this is either a church or part of the original castle. It's quite empty, so I think it's part of the original castle. Might be the monastery attached to the castle, who knows? It's cute though. I believe this is a wild Bristolian pasta tree. They grow large strands of penne here to be harvested later in the year. So that's the smaller pointy building, but I've honestly got no idea where the larger pointy building is. Cobbled streets around here, but where all that construction is the Old Vic. Unfortunately there are no shows on today, otherwise I would have seen one of those. Sad thing. It's raining quite heavily in fact. I'm not having fun. Branding is a massive part of any marketing thing. The issue comes when your branding is done by a bat who spins their life upside down. I believe that's the Bristol Cathedral, but it's not the tall pointy thing that I saw earlier. And it's very annoying because I can't seem to see it anywhere. So it turns out that the Bristol Central Library is in fact part of the cathedral area. Fun. The Bristol Library is interesting. It's a beautiful old building, but there's some really nice modern refurbishments in it, and the desks are beautiful. I've been walking about now on the outside for about 2 hours, and my right foot is really wet because my boot has a hole in it, and my phone is dying as well. Talking to a lot of people on the street today, you know, the ones like from UNICEF and the ones from the Wildlife Trust, and I've got to tell you, it's very interesting. But today's life hack / top tip. If someone tries to talk to you on the street and they work for a charity or something, just tell them that you're 21 and then legally they can't talk to you. Tell them you're under 21, then they won't talk to you. I bought an umbrella and I've used it for a while. It's raining less now, so I'm just enjoying this dryness. Shoe update. There are actually holes in both of my shoes. Now both of my feet are very, very, very damp. I need to buy some new boots. It's a shame because I like these boots. They're made of Bristol-land and they've got a wooden sole with a rubber finish. But crikey, they've broken quite easily. So there are those two spires. Apparently I went past them because I've now found the tallest and highest up spire in all of Bristol that I can find. This church looks a bit disused, and there are people smoking cannabis in the front door, so I probably won't go inside it. So I found a vape shop, gave them my problem, and unlike back home where they would say, "I'll just buy a new one," he said that the parts are viable on eBay. Happy days. This is the tidiest Primark I have seen in my entire tiny life. It is ridiculous how tidy this place is. So I didn't replace my brown boots when I needed to, and now I need to replace some back boots, otherwise I'm going to have no boots at all to wear. I like wearing boots. A while ago, I've just bought lunch. It's like 2 o'clock now. I'm a happy guy. Woo! So I found my way to the Christmas steps. Don't know what that means or why they are, but they are. The shops have got Christmas steps all in front of them. Oh man, it's pretty chilly here. It must be like... This is art. Bristol is a truly beautiful city. This Snapchat story as a whole doesn't really do it justice. And there's so much more to see as well. But I've been asking throughout my Snapchat story, is this art? And I think if this is art, it's not a bad place to be. The famous Shakespeare quote is, if this be magic, let it be art as lawful as eating. I think if this be art, it must be some sort of magic. Enough pretend philosophy. I've been told that there is an excellent cider called Bee Sting that I have to find somewhere. And I just don't know where I'm going to find it. I climbed 11 flights of stairs to get that view. In new boots, I am full of regret. Bristolian men seem to favour the moustache over other facial accoutrements. This is the Bristol Hippodrome. At the moment, Warhorse is on, and crike, I wish I knew that, because then I could have booked a ticket. Well, that was easy. I found a pint of Bee Sting. Apparently trying to find cider in Bristol is like trying to find Adams in Suffolk. As in, it's easy as fuck. Bee Sting is a pear cider. It's about 7.6%. It's quite strong. And not that good tasting, to be honest with you. Why would you recommend this? There is a small dog here. I don't know what its name is, but it is small and happy. Look how happy that little dog is. It's looking at me. I'm now having a generic on-brand coffee because drinking at 3:30 in the afternoon is a terrible idea if you're Josh. Yeah. Alicia's finished with her day, and she's picked me up, and now we're driving to Newport.
Newport!
That is a suspension bridge. It's a bridge, but it's suspended. Apparently the Bristolians are fascinated by it. I am currently on the Severn Bridge, which means that I am not in Wales or in England. I am currently in Pirate Land. Finally in Newport. Decided to have a vegetable curry because vegetables are good, and so is curry.
I don't know.
Alicia's here.